Hello everyone, if you are a Brazilian football fan, if you want to know everything that's going on in Brazilian football right now, this is your channel. My name is Ronaldo Ferreira and I'm speaking all the way here from São Paulo, Brazil. Please don't forget to subscribe, share this video, give us a thumbs up, okay? Leave a comment, okay? Let me know if you have questions about Brazilian football. And if you can and if you want to contribute to the growth of this channel, my PayPal account is in the first comment and in the description of this video. And remember, we Brazilians did not invent football, we just made it better. All right, round 4 of Libertadores for Brazilian teams. Okay. Everybody was expecting that Brazilian clubs would, advance easily. 2 exceptions, Palmeiras and São Paulo. So it all started with Alianza Lima, okay, from Peru. 0 São Paulo, 2. São Paulo went, all the way to Lima in Peru and won the game. And São Paulo is this close to advance. So São Paulo has to score just another point, just a draw or win the game. The next game will be a home game for São Paulo. So the classification is going to be like piece of cake for São Paulo. Carabobo from Venezuela, 1, Botafogo 2. I watched part of this game. The stage is kind of, cozy, let's put it like this, with some trees in the back, some palm trees. Really nice, a small crowd, small stadium, small crowd, The city, Valencia, is not the capital. The capital of Venezuela is Caracas, so it was away from, not close to Caracas, But it's let's say it's a cozy stadium. I saw this game, Good game for Botafogo. Botafogo won. I'm going to give you the standings later, but Botafogo is in a good position. So 2 games now, 2 games at home. So if you win, advances, no problem. Fortaleza 4, Colo-Colo 0. Okay, the game was in Fortaleza. So this game was after the problem that took place back in Santiago. Okay, where 2 young kids were killed by police force. And CONMEBOL, the South America Confederation, decided to concede the points to Fortaleza. So, because Fortaleza doesn't have anything to do with the confusion, so it was among the Colo-Colo supporters. So Fortaleza was not the problem. Colo-Colo wasn't, so they were expecting that they would disqualify Colo-Colo, but they didn't. They just conceded, they gave the points to Fortaleza. Everything's okay, Fortaleza was happy now, won this game. The same situation, but Fortaleza will play 1 game home, 1 game away. If Fortaleza wins their home game, qualifies. Surprisingly, Bahia won, Nacional 3 from Uruguay. So Bahia went to Montevideo and beat Nacional 1-0 last week. And now the home game last week or 2 weeks ago. Now playing at home in front of its crowd, Bahia lost. This is exactly what I said about some clubs in South America. Even though these clubs are in a bad shape, okay, if you compare to Brazilian football, in financial terms, organization terms, some clubs such as Nacional, Peñarol, Boca Juniors, River Plate, São Lourenço, Atlético Nacional, Olimpia from Paraguay, Libertad from Paraguay, all these clubs, they cannot be neither ignored or despised. Okay, so these are huge clubs. They have a beautiful history in South American football. So Nacional is one of them. Okay, Nacional is a big club in Uruguay. Nacional has, if I'm not mistaken, 5 Libertadores titles. So Bahia has is part of City Group, blah 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 blah. But 2 things you don't buy in a supermarket: tradition and history. So these 2 things Nacional has a lot. So, Bahia, be careful, all right? So, Cerro Porteño 0, Palmeiras 2. Today, Palmeiras is currently the record breaker of South American football in Brazil or in South America, okay? So, Palmeiras is breaking all the still standing records in Brazil in terms of victories, in terms of points, in terms of everything. And Palmeiras is doing the same. Palmeiras is doing the same thing in Libertadores as well. Palmeiras is breaking all the records, is winning all the games, games at home, games away. I'd say today so that Palmeiras is unstoppable. It's the best team. Palmeiras leads Brasileirão, and Palmeiras leads its group in Libertadores. 12 points for Palmeiras and 4 points for the second place. That's a humiliation, a landslide. Central Córdoba. After Palmeiras, I'm supporting Central Córdoba, okay? I told you in my other video that I was expecting that Flamengo and Central Córdoba would advance, and I still keep my opinion. I hope Central Córdoba people watches this video, okay? Hermanos de Central Córdoba, I'm cheering for you, okay? Flamengo won. So, out of 6 points, Central Córdoba got 4 points. Okay, so Flamengo just won. Flamengo is a much bigger team, much richer team, much more important team. This is the first time ever that Central Córdoba is in Libertadores. They are doing an excellent job in this Libertadores, and I am one of Central Córdoba's supporter here in Brazil. I really want Central Córdoba to qualify, to go to the next phase of Libertadores. All right, so was a draw, 1-1. So Flamengo scored first. Then Central Córdoba drew, and then that's it. So Flamengo, I'll talk about Flamengo situation later. So Atlético Nacional. So I told Atlético Nacional is another team with a beautiful history, with a tradition from Colombia, from Medellin. Okay, so 3, Internacional 1. So Internacional beat Atlético Nacional in a home game in Porto Alegre, 1-0. So now Atlético Nacional playing in Medellin, in front of its crowd, beat Internacional 3-1. So we cannot ignore the history, the tradition of these teams, Atlético Nacional, and other teams that I mentioned earlier. What's the situation today? There are 2 games to be played, okay? In Palmeiras' case, there'll be 2 games at home, all right? So some clubs will play 1 game home, 1 game away. So Palmeiras and Flamengo will play 2 games at home. All right. So Palmeiras was the first team to advance, as I said. Palmeiras is the record breaker of this Libertadores. Palmeiras advanced already. Okay. São Paulo is this close to advance. Just a draw. So then 1 point and São Paulo advances. Flamengo, Internacional, and Bahia are basically in the same situation. If they win their 2 games, they advance. If they don't, they will depend on other results. They will depend on other clubs, and so this is not good. All right. But so far, Inter, Bahia, and Flamengo are in the same situation. Okay. Botafogo, no. So Botafogo and Fortaleza, so if they win 1 game, okay, the next game, and the other team doesn't win, they advance. So far, the situation is this. So Palmeiras has already advanced. São Paulo will advance, that's for sure. That's impossible, São Paulo not to advance, okay? But Bahia, Inter, and Fortaleza, too. So Fortaleza, Botafogo, Bahia, Internacional, and Flamengo are, they have to win. Not they, maybe, no. If they don't win both games, the situation is not good. I have some complement of the information about what happened to Miguelito, about the racist slur. He shouted to another fellow player, a black man, Alan. When it happened, the referee applied that, FIFA anti-racism protocol. Miguelito was sent off, and then he was arrested. Okay, so he was arrested on the pitch. There was substitution, and then he was arrested. But the judge stopped the game. The game was interrupted right away. Miguelito was substituted, and then he was arrested. He was arrested on the pitch. There was a police officer. When you shout a racist slur at someone, okay, in Brazil, all you need is 2 witnesses. The police officer, did you hear that? The guy said yes. Did you hear that? Yes. So you're under arrest. So that's all we need. 2 witnesses. Okay, that's what happened. So, but first the referee applied that little thing about anti-racism protocol, and then so this is what happened. And of course, Palmeiras was playing Asunción in Paraguay, Paraguay's capital city, And then one guy, just one guy, this time just one guy, one stupid guy, he was doing that, mimicking like a monkey. So again, so as I said, when it's in another country, it's okay, it's not Brazil, so people just say, they just feel bad, but it's their country, they do whatever they want in their country. But when it happens in Brazil, you will go to jail. If you are a player, if you are a manager, if you're the president of the club, it doesn't matter. You will go to jail, and then you stay there. If you don't have a good lawyer, you'll be transferred to a federal prison and going to spend quite some time there. Okay? I guess that's it. So I will return next week with the results of Rodada 8, round 8. Okay? If you're wondering why I use Portuguese terms in one video and English terms in another video, go back to my first videos, my second video, my third video, then I explain why I'm using these terms, Portuguese terms in Brazil and English terms in Libertadores. All right? I guess that's it, and I see you in the next videos.